It's becoming the summer of Eduardo Escobar. What a month of June, batting over 400. How about the doubles? 2 more last night, 32 leads. Major League Baseball, the Twins are riding the wave with Eduardo Escobar leading the way. And there's a buzz in downtown Minneapolis as the fans enter Target Field. Can the Twins beat another top shelf pitcher? It should be exciting. And this Twins Red Sox series on Fox Sports North is presented by Subway. Twins got by a game started by Chris Sale last night. They got by a game over the weekend started by Corey Kluber. Tonight they'll get another big-time pitcher, David Price. The Red Sox have won 7 straight starts that he has made, and he'll be up against Lance Lynn for the Minnesota Twins, who got off to a shaky start this season, but really good in his last 5 starts, 3-1 with an ERA just a tick over 2. Welcome inside the ballpark. It is another comfortable night for baseball, cloudy and cool, and we'll see what the Twins and Eduardo Escobar can do for an encore after they rallied last night for that emphatic 6-2 win. Tonight they'll have to do it, though, against one of baseball's best again. David Price is so good, and he's been extra good against the Twins. 10-3 doesn't tell the story in his career. He averages 9.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's won his last 6 decisions against the Minnesota Twins. The left-hander can move the ball around. He can nibble, yes, but boy, when he's on his game, the Twins have had no answer for David Price, including the last time they saw him at Fenway last summer. So we asked Logan Morrison and their hitting coach, James Rowson, how do you solve David Price tonight?
I don't think anyone is good enough to be able to put every pitch on the corner. So hopefully, if we all have that same approach, get him over the middle of the plate, either he's going to run out of pitches or we're going to get to him because he's missing over the middle.
Those are the challenges you want to face at this point. If you're going to get to to a championship caliber level, those are the kind of guys you have to face. Those are the kind of guys you have to compete against. So it's nice to go out there and see where you stand against those guys.
Twins will try to keep it going, and they'll rely on Mr. Clutch, Eduardo Escobar, again tonight. When we come back, Dick Kramer and Jack Morris. But what makes that shortstop / third baseman so good?
By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today.
It was a really good ball game and a Twins win last night, and tonight from Target Field the Twins will try to back last night's game up with another one here tonight in Game 2 between the Twins and the Red Sox. He's Jack Morris and I'm Dick Raymer, and the Twins are hoping to get more production out of Eduardo Escobar. Sure, they missed Miguel Sano, but Escobar stepped up as a third baseman and produced an awful lot of runs.
You know, this guy started out as a happy-go-lucky utility man, and now he's turned into the star of the team. It's just so much fun to watch him play every day, especially because of the way he's contributing. The guy's been on base, it seems like, 2 or 3 times every single night. He's putting himself and his team in position to win, and he's doing it with his glove and defense, too. He's just a joy to watch. His teammates adore him. Even his ex-teammates. Chris Sale had a nice compliment about what he brought when he was a member of the Chicago White Sox. So good to see this guy back in the lineup. Hopefully he will contribute again tonight.
A 5-double lead in the American League department for doubles so far in a season. He's been remarkable, and the Twins are hoping that Escobar and his teammates can get some big hits against David Price. We may have another pitcher's duel tonight with Price facing Lance Lynn of the Minnesota Twins.
Game 2 with the Boston Red Sox looking again tonight for their 50th win of the year. And the Twins won a good ball game last night. They actually played their best here at home against the best teams. They took a series against the Houston Astros earlier this year, and Alex Cora was their bench coach, Houston's bench coach, a year ago, in his first year now as Boston manager. And the Menards batting order for the Red Sox. A lot of dangerous bats, starting with the leadoff man. Mookie Betts leading off, then Andrew Benintendi, Xander Bogaerts, JT Martinez, Mitch Moreland, Rafael Devers, Brock Holt in at second base today, Christian Vasquez doing the catching, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats brought to you by Home Furniture. Lance Lynn making his 14th start of the season. He's coming off a loss in Detroit, but he pitched well. He just ended up making a mistake late in that game that cost him a win, making his 4th career start against the Red Sox and his first this season. He's going to throw fastballs to a pretty much fastball hitting team, so we'll see how it all works out. Both pitchers in tonight's game like to throw that heater.
Northland Ford Twins defense. Eddie Rosario has left field. Ryan Lamar has center. Max Kepler in right. Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, Morris in the infielders. Garber back behind the plate. Interesting note about the matchup between Boston and Minnesota. They are actually tied. Since 1961, each team has won 309 games. And the Twins dominated in the mid-60s. In 1965, the Twins went 17-1 against Boston. And in a 5-year period in the mid to late 60s, the Twins were 64-26 against the Red Sox.
Dominant years for the Twins. It was the story of my youth, so I loved it.
Yeah, I checked. The Twins won all 9 games in 1965 at Metropolitan Stadium with the Red Sox and won 8 of 9 at Fenway Park. Jeff Nelson, had a chance to chat with him briefly about a half hour ago. He has plate duty. Of course, the Twin Cities native. Woodring, Berry, and Torres are the base umps, and Lynn is ready to pitch to Mookie Betts. Fastball on the outside corner. And we say fastball, but Lynn has really mixed things up. He's got a cut fastball, a sinking fastball. He'll throw the 4-seamer up there. So we say that he throws a lot of fastballs, but he can do different things with it. That one missed the corner. 1-1.
Well, you kind of hit it right on the head, Dick, there by saying that, you know, fastball is more than one pitch. First of all, you got to locate it, and there's 4 quadrants that you want to throw it at typically. And then you can move it in, you can move it out, those kind of things.
Popped up right field. Kepler tracking it and catching it 1 away. Twins handled Corey Kluber on Friday in Cleveland, and they did so because their starting pitcher put some zeros up early. And even though Barrios didn't get the decision, the win yesterday, he did the same thing last night.
Yeah, he battled through a lot of adversity last night. A lot of base runners, guys in scoring position. He's able to get through that. Lynn maybe watching that, pay attention and try to have a little easier time of it. But the bottom line is, you don't want the other team scoring first. These 2 teams pretty well matched right now. Twins playing better baseball.
You saw Barrios doing some manicuring with the nail clippers. Lynn has had some issues with some blister problems. I asked him the other day when we were in Cleveland whether that was a new situation for him. He said no, he's had blister problems throughout his career. There's a called strike 1-1. It's just a matter of there's so much friction, I guess, when you push off the seam, and some guys are a little sensitive to getting blisters and some are not. 1-1. Ooh, the bat sailing in front of Lynn, and Adrianza makes the play. The ball went on one side of the mound and the bat barrel went on the other side.
That can be scary when you see parts of the bat shattered, and you know you're trained to follow the baseball, and you see Lance Lynn, baseball goes by his right side and the barrel of the bat goes by his left side.
And you could see Lynn after that pitch looking at his fingertips. That's again been kind of literally a sore spot for him. Now, did you have any blister issues in your career?
I really was fortunate. I had some calluses that built up, especially with my fork ball, that you know I had to throw it off the sides of my fingers, so it wasn't really off your pressure points of your fingers. But I was fortunate. I didn't have that really good curveball that a lot of guys have, and I think you get so much more spin by throwing a curveball. That's why certain guys, I've been told, like to use pine tar.
Okay. 1-0 and a drive down the line. It's a fair ball off the bat of Bogaerts into the corner. And Bogaerts glides into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, 2 quick outs, and then Bogaerts just kind of throws the barrel at a ball that's outside. Fastball away. We'll see that hit right here. You see Garver setting outside. There's the pitch, and there's the result. Good hitting right there.
And now J.D. Martinez. Red Sox left 10 men on last night, 5 of them in scoring position, and now with 2 outs, a double. And Martinez, the designated hitter. up, ball one.
One of the keys to last night's game, Trevor Hildenberger got a big strikeout against J.D. Martinez on a changeup that he left down and in. Not the ideal spot, but I think J.D. just so fooled by his delivery, hasn't seen him yet. And it was a key part of the game when he struck him out.
And now on the outside corner, 1-1. I mentioned Lynn made a mistake late. He had 6 shutout innings in his last start against the Tigers, had a 1-0 lead going into the 7th. And then John Hicks hit a leadoff triple. He scored, and there was a hit batter and a home run, and Twins were stuck with 1 for that game and ended up losing the ball game. Came inside to get a swinging strike.
I think it's so important for pitchers to keep J.D. Martinez honest and throw him a few fastballs in, sinkers down and in. They got a good result there. Back to that last start for Lynn, I was impressed that not only he wanted to stay in the game, but Paul Molitor gave him the option, and Lynn talked himself into staying in that game. The result wasn't the best, but he wanted to finish that 7th inning.
And a fastball line foul. You can see Lynn reaching back for 96, trying to finish the inning with a swinging strikeout. J.D. Martinez kind of reacting like his hands aren't feeling too well.
Hitters will do anything to try to trick you.
A decoy?
Decoy, yeah. Fake news.
1-2. And now outside 2-2.
He's a darn good hitter, especially out over the plate. It's something I think we talked about it last night. Following and watching Miguel Cabrera for all those years in Detroit, you can't help but learn if you're paying attention. And he saw how he went to right field and used the whole field. And since then, J.D. has really turned into a great hitter because he is used in all parts of the field.
And the Twins defense playing him accordingly. And Lynn comes back inside. Another fastball to get a swinging strike free. The 500 mark at 32-37. Indians won this afternoon behind Corey Kluber 12-0. The Menards batting order for the Twins. Joe Mauer not in the lineup. Robbie Grossman is the designated hitter and the leadoff man. Then Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier, Logan Morrison, A-Ray Adrianza, Max Kepler, Mitch Garver, and Ryan Lamar.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and David Price we've talked about already quite a bit, but we're going to talk about him quite a bit more. 15th start of the year. He is a good one. He knows how to pitch. He's got a good breaking ball, but he likes his fastball. And once he gets rolling like Chris Sale last night, both guys will just pound the strike zone and challenge the hitters.
And another called strike, 0-2. And now down and in. Price would like to forget about last year, his second with the Red Sox. He was hurt. Pitched okay, but he only pitched 74 in 2/3 innings. There were flare-ups with the media and some front office people. And he's just gone about his business and pitched so far this year. Missing inside, 2-2. Grossman taking 4 pitches. Grossman with a big 2-run triple in the ball game last night.
Back when David Price did have a windup, it was a very, very simple, short, mini step windup. And since then, he's pretty much gone to his stretch.
This one hit pretty well to left field, hit deep to the gap. That ball's back and gone. Grossman with a leadoff home run, his 3rd of the year.
Didn't know if that ball was going to carry far enough. It looked like it might be a gapper, and it just kept going. And just like that, the Twins are on the board. First hitter of the game for Minnesota.
Grossman's 3rd of the year, his first as a right-handed batter. He took 4 pitches and then teed off on the 5th. And now Eddie Rosario had good numbers last night against Chris Sale. He's got good numbers against Price too, 3 for 6 against the Boston left-hander. Rolled up the middle, but maybe in a good spot. And Rosario beats it out. Holt couldn't do much with it. He didn't hit it hard, but Rosario's aboard with an infield hit.
The old adage, hit him where they ain't. And Eddie went to the right of Holt there. He did everything he could do. He wasn't going to get a lot on this throw because he's got to do the jump pivot throw. And Eddie got down the line very well. He gets rid of the ball as quickly as he can, but he doesn't have a lot on it because he has to go to his right.
All right, how many tonight, Jack?
Well, I was just looking at the Detroit series. Remember, we scored twice in the first inning, and that was the end of the offense. So this guy has been carrying the load. The last 2 guys, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, 2 doubles last night. You know, it's hard to say he's not going to get a double. It's just hard to say it.
He's so good.
I was gonna go tease him today and said, you know, you're going to strike out 3 times tonight, and just see what he would have said to me, just the reaction. But I didn't have it in me because I had never been negative to him. So I didn't want to do it.
0-2. He's going so good, he got a double after the game ended last night. He had one during the game, and then the official score changed a scoring, and he was given credit for a second double on a ball that Jackie Bradley Jr. didn't field in the outfield. 2 strikes to Escobar. Flared to right. Coming in is Betts, and he makes the catch 1 away. And that'll bring up Brian Dozier. Red Sox out on the field. Benintendi in left. Bradley made maybe the greatest throw I've ever seen an outfielder make last night. He's out in center. Betts is in right. Devers, Bogarts, Holt, Moreland, the infielders. Vasquez doing the catching. So yeah, Rosario and Escobar have led the way without question. And the Twins need Dozier and Kepler to pick it up here. Dozier's batting average down to 217. Kepler's is down to 225. In a good team, or on a good team, that will happen naturally. Somebody will carry the ball club for a week or 2, and then someone else will carry it for a week or 2. Escobar and Rosario have been doing it for about 6 weeks.
What happens with good teams is there are no prolonged slumps. Whether it be because of a starting staff where you've got guys contributing and 2 or 3 guys can be considered the ace. So on any given day, you're going to get a gem, or hitters that, and every hitter is going to go through a week or two during the year, but they're not going to be a month or two. And the good teams can avoid those prolonged slumps.
Dozier swings through a 2-0 pitch. And Brian staring at a wide open right side of the infield. Holt, the second baseman, playing about where a shortstop would normally play, and the first baseman, Moreland, is holding the runner.
Well, we'll see if there's a willingness to even try.
Inside 3-1. Morrison is on deck.
No way can he even shoot that ball to the right side. You know, again,
pitch inside.
Yeah, and that's what makes David Price so smart, is if you're going to shift, you got to pitch the shift, and that means jamming the heck out of him, make him pull the ball. You don't want to throw it out over the plate where he can just shoot it the other way.
3-1. And they've got Rosario picked off. And Rosario will prolong matters, and finally it's tagged out for out number 2.
Base running.
Another base running mistake. And another out on the bases. 2 down. And the count to Dozier, 3-1. I mean, you're 1 pitch away from having first and second and 1 down. And instead it's a second out. Three and 1 to Dozier. And now the first baseman, Moreland, playing about halfway between first and second, since there's no runner to hold anymore. And Dozier takes a strike, 3-2. Ryan unbuckled, unfastened, no buckles, Velcro now. Full count to Brian Dozier. And a called third strike. Grossman with a 2-2 pitch, hammered it into the bullpen, and the Twins strike first. They lead it 1-0.
Miles leaving the clubhouse last night in a Michael Jordan jersey. Asked if it was his lucky jersey. He said, absolutely, my all-time favorite athlete. Showed me his shoes and his Air Jordan duffel bag. Good news on the Byron Buxton front. might be ending the near, at least the end of his rehab stint in the minors. The toe, now no discomfort for the first time in 7 weeks in the last couple of games for him. And maybe some game action in the near horizon here for Irvin Santana. Pitched on the side yesterday, felt much better with the grip. And with that finger starting to make some progress. Mauder said they'll mix hitters in on Friday. If that goes well, they can start to set up some actual games where he can get back on track to being back with Minnesota here before the summer is over, guys.
Well, thank you, Kim. Well, let's go back to Byron Buxton. Significantly today, significant to me anyway, he got on base twice. He singled and walked. And the more games he has like that, the quicker he will find his way back to Minnesota. The Twins want Byron to be able to find his way to get on base, whether it's through hits, walks, whatever. And if the toe doesn't hurt anymore, I asked Paul during batting practice, he said he hadn't gotten a report yet whether Byron tried to steal any bases or was able to run the bases, but he got there twice.
Yeah, world-class speed, and it's worthless unless you're on base to create some havoc.
Inside now 2-2. Mitch Moreland, Rafael Devers, and Brock Holt here in the Boston second. And the Twins have a pull shift in the infield for Mitch Moreland. And the outfield shading him a little bit the other way.
Moreland 1 for 4 against Barrios and the staff last night. Did
Missed
face
inside 3-2.
Did face Zach Duke his last at bat, but 1 for 3 off Barrios, base hit.
Last 5 starts for Lynn, 31 1/3 innings. Every start has gone at least 6 innings. And hoping to spin another good one here tonight. Grounded foul.
Well, both Lynn and Odorizzi are up in the league leaders in pitches per inning, and that's something you really don't want to be on that list. Barrios on the other end of the list, fewest pitches per inning. So they both have to work on that. I think all the pitchers on the Twins staff have kind of learned something from Jake Odorizzi, watching him pitch up in the zone. I think Kyle Gibbs in particular has benefited from that.
There's ball 4. It skips by Garver, but Moreland will take first with a leadoff walk.
And there's the first walk of the game for Lance Lynn. And let's talk about the Pizza Ranch for the win. When I say follow the leader, I mean try to be the topper. You see a guy pitch a good game like Barrios did last night, go out there and duplicate it or one up him a little bit. And again, the Twins need to generate some offense early, which they already have. A home run by Robbie Grossman, top of the first. So the Twins are on the board already to give Lynn a little bit of breathing room.
There's Devers, and he uncoils and misses. Devers started the scoring last night with a solo home run on a changeup out over the plate, actually off the plate.
Yep.
Pulled it over the wall in right center field. 1 strike.
Strong kid.
Popped up near first base in foul ground. And Morrison makes the catch. 1 away. You know, I liken what Devers is going through as a young guy, just 21 years old, kind of what Chuck Knobloch went through in '91. A young guy, in Knobloch's case, you know, a rookie. But everybody else in the lineup and most everybody else in the clubhouse was a veteran. And I think that's what Devers has found himself in a similar situation with his Boston team.
It can be a real plus because you learn the game and you've got a lot of guys helping you understand things and really walking you through some situations that with a young team you've got a bunch of guys feeling the same way, where a veteran can sit them down and say, look, tell me what your thought process was there. Why did you do that? And here's a better way to look at it and a different approach. So that's what leadership and veterans can do.
1-0 to Brock Holt, getting the start at second base in place of Eduardo Nunez.
You know, you'd think that the coaching staff, that was their responsibility, but when we talk about team chemistry, it's every guy trying to make everybody else better. And of course, everybody's an individual, everybody has a different way, but you know, players can help out players, and they tend to do that. They're in the trenches together. They all understand how tough the game can be and how much fun the game can be.
2-0. Now 3-0. Vasquez on deck. And Lynn, 26 pitches, just 14 strikes. A leadoff walk here in the second inning.
Every time I see Brock Holt, I think Matt Damon.
Yeah. There's Vasquez. He's on deck. There's a strike, 3-1. Holt doing well offensively, hitting .300. There's the second walk of the inning.
1 strikeout, 2 walks, pitch count keeps climbing. He's got to figure out a way to get early outs, quick pitch outs. 1, 2, 3 pitch outs.
In the middle of his 5-start string, where things have gone pretty well for Lynn, there was that 6-inning outing. He got the win against the Indians. He gave up just 2 hits, but he walked 5. So the problem hasn't gone away permanently, and the Twins are hoping it doesn't resurface and have him pay the price for that here tonight. Vasquez with runners at first and second and 1 out. Lynn has gotten 7 ground ball double plays on the year. And there is ball 1. And Lynn slowly looks away from Jeff Nelson.
And as we see him struggling here a little bit with his control here in the top of the second, let's watch from the center field camera when Mitch Garver sets up and watch to see how close or how far away Lance Lynn is from missing his target. You see that Garver's setting down and in. There it is, right there, hits his glove.
1-1.
Kyle Gibson, you can see, leads the Twins staff in double plays. Pitcher's best friend.
Vasquez has hit into 4 of them.
Garver's going to set it inside again.
Looper, and Morrison's back to make a nice catch in fair territory. That's not a play that you practice very often. And Morrison had to retreat toward the foul line and made a nice running catch.
Well, he reacted well. As soon as the ball was hit, he started back, and this is going to be a tough one because it's sort of a semi-line drive, little looper, but he ran right to it. So he had a good route and a good reaction.
And now 2 down, 2 on, and the number 9 batter, Jackie Bradley Jr. Boston lineup that produces more than 5 runs per game. Barrios and company limited them to 2 last night, and now Lynn gets ahead of Bradley 0-1.
What made Barrios' game special last night is how he battled with adversity. Runners on, he was able to get the team back in the dugout without runs scored.
Missing inside, 1-1. Bradley's faced Lynn 4 times. He's hit a home run and drawn 2 walks. Low, and it's 2-1. Pitches in the first, 20 already here in the second. Lynn, as Jack mentioned, 3rd on the list. Odorizzi and Lynn are numbers 1 and 2 in the American League. 2-1 to Jackie Bradley Jr. off the end of the bat and a foul ball. And the count goes 2-2. Might have cracked his bat.
Well, Bradley, this is his 210th plate appearance this year. He's got 64 strikeouts, which is a little concerning, I would say. He's a guy that you would think would put the bat on the ball a little more often than that.
2 years ago he had 267 but hit 26 home runs, drove in 87 runs. The numbers down a bit last year, but they're really down this year. 2-2. On the ground, Morrison, nice pickup, and Lynn gets to the bag, can't hold it, and a run will score. A high flip to Lynn, and it came out of his glove, and the Red Sox have tied it up here in the second inning. Holt goes to third. Bradley will reach on an error. And the error, I'm guessing, will go to Morrison.
Yeah, the throw is a bit high, but really Lance Lynn's got to do a better job of getting off the mound. He didn't react very well. And then it was going to be a foot race between him and Bradley Jr. Obviously, Lynn got there first, throw high, and sometimes that's a difficult play for a pitcher to try to find the bag with 1 foot while you're watching the ball that's up in the zone.
Morrison, I think, just found out about the official scorer's ruling, which gave him the error. Maybe not agreeing with the call, but that is the call. And now, with the game tied, you have to face Betts with 2 men aboard. And over the inside corner, strike 1. Betts hit a fly ball to Kepler his first time up. Very high. Garver almost didn't catch it. 1-1. Told you about the scoring change last night after the game, giving Escobar a second double. There was also a change today for those of you who like to keep meticulous notes and keep score. Brian Dozier in the doubleheader against the White Sox was given credit for a hit, and the Twins went on to score 4 runs. But now today they overruled that and gave Omer Sanchez an error, and meaning that the 4 runs were unearned. And it probably doesn't matter so much to Brian, but it really matters to Nate Jones, the relief pitcher, because it took about a run and a half off his ERA. Instead of those being earned runs, they're now unearned runs. 2-1 to Mookie Betts. Lynn trying to get off the field here and get his teammates off the field on the 40th pitch of his evening. Swing and a miss.
So that was last homestand we're talking about. How long did the official scorer have? Is there a time limit on making changes?
Well, Major League Baseball made the
so it was sent to the league.
Right. And it was what, June 5th, I believe, that was the date of the doubleheader. So Brian lost a hit. Escobar gained a double, and Nate Jones, the Chicago reliever, lost a run and a half off his ERA. There goes Bradley, and the pitch fouled back. Boy, Betts had a really good hack at that.
He was right on that one. This was part of Lynn's problem, I think, and why he's going to have some struggles here in the American League. He's going fastball, fastball, fastball. Well, eventually guys are going to time it, and if you don't have a lot of movement and great command, in other words, dotting your spots, you've got to throw a wrinkle in there once in a while. You've got to throw an off-speed pitch in there once in a while just to keep hitters honest. 78% fastballs.
2-2. Another one fouled back. In a sense, though, what he does through the first time through the batting order was the traditional way of going about things. Establish your fastball and then mix your other stuff in the second and third time through the order.
Well, and also you have to be aware of what the hitter is trying to do. When you see a hitter right on your pitch and you throw 2 of them and he's right on both of them, do you dare throw it again? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to see if I can get his swing to miss the barrel a little bit.
Bradley goes outside, and now they got the runner between third and home. And Holt with a dash to third base, and he is out. Well, the Red Sox make a blunder on the base paths, and the Twins make a blunder in the field. See if the Red Sox challenge it. Right now, it's a 1-1 game. Sox tie the game up without a hit. Sanford Health injury report. Hunter Strickland fractured his right hand because he slammed it into a locker and broke a bone in his hand, pinky finger. So he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. Brandon Morrow was simply trying to get undressed, and he tweaked his back, taking his pants off. And now he's on the 10-day DL. Hopefully he won't be out 6 to 8 weeks.
I had a teammate once who slept on his eyebrow wrong. 10-day DL.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I haven't slept well since, for fear that might happen to me. There's Logan Morrison. Avery Adrianza, Max Kepler will follow, and there's a pitch inside, ball one. Now, you were known as someone who showed your emotions on the field. Bert was too.
Really?
Yes. But you had the common sense, I'm sure, to not do anything to damage your meal ticket, which was your right hand and your right arm.
Well,
Up and in, 2-0.
Back when we played, if you did that, they might not pay you. You know, that's not caused by any kind of accident or stupidity. It's frustrating. There's no question. We slammed some gloves down in the locker and maybe kicked a cooler or two.
2-0. Morrison came inside to get a swinging strike. Twins had a closer in the 90s, Dave Stevens, and he gave up a lead in a ball game in Cleveland and went into the dugout and took his right fist from his pitching hand and slammed it into one of the phones in the back wall of the dugout, and he was gone for a couple of months. Inside, 3-1. Adrianza on next.
My teammate in Detroit, Kirk Gibson, All-American football player at Michigan State, and it took him a few years to adjust to the baseball mentality. Football, he could go out and crush somebody, and not so much in baseball.
This one looped to short right, and hustling in is Bats, and he makes a nice running catch, one away. And that'll bring up Adrianza.
It's like Morrison got jammed just a little bit there. Pretty good swing on a ball that appeared to be inside, but didn't get the barrel on it.
Adrianza's been pretty much the everyday shortstop. Occasionally Escobar will play there. And he takes a breaking ball, strike one.
It's been a while since either one of these guys have had a day off.
Adrianza hitting .326 right-handed, just .225 left-handed. Inside, missing, and it's 1-1.
Price doesn't appear to have his real good velocity yet here tonight. He's thrown more off-speed pitches, more breaking balls, and like Justin Verlander, I think they learn as they get older that, you know, if in order to have a little bit left in the tank late in the game, you back off the throttle a little bit early and see if you can get some easy outs.
Mixes the off-speed stuff quite a bit more frequently than Lynn, and now inside, and it's 2-2. Kepler on deck.
He moved his feet with that fastball, even though it was off the plate. At least it served a purpose. And go right back in there again.
Crack bat, but a base hit to left. An awful, sickening sound.
Well, what's really sickening is the guy got hit.
A one-out single for Adrianza. Oh, this just is nauseous. Makes me nauseous. The hours of craftsmanship to make a bat.
Yeah,
it's all gone.
Put it on a lathe, push a button, it's all automated. Dip it in a varnish, and there it is. But think of the craftsmen that have to be able to hit it right there on the handle. Or
oh, the pitcher is the craftsman. Oh, okay.
Work of art.
Here's
Rembrandt's.
And down and away. Vasquez dug it out of the dirt. Ball one. Yeah, Kepler started the month hitting .249. His average is down to .225. So while Rosario and Escobar have done well in the month of June, it has not been a good month for Kepler. Still hitting lefties much better than righties. The average, or the problem for Kepler hasn't been the lefty-lefty matchups like it was a year ago. A bullet right to the shortstop, and getting back is Adrianza. Good positioning by Bogarts, with Kepler hitting a rocket for out number 2.
Well, sometimes the shifts work. Had he played normal shortstop position, that's going to be easily a base hit. And you can see right at him, almost took Price's head off.
Exit velocity of 100 miles per hour, but it's an out. Adrianza's base hit probably left the bat around 47 miles per hour, and he gets the hit. Here's Garver. Strike over the inside corner, and Garver's another bat.
I can't help
the Twins would like to see him get going here.
I can't help but try to visualize what Tony Gwynn, who is considered probably in my era the guy with the greatest bat control, would do with shifts. And I know they probably wouldn't shift him because he'd figure out a way to beat it all the time. So he'd be back to, there's one that didn't quite make it either.
A little soft line drive fielded by Holt. We head to the third, tied at 1. and Sleepy Eye and hundreds of other towns. But Sleepy Eye is the home of Fred Bruckbauer, the first native Minnesotan to play for the Twins, in a ballpark where Babe Ruth himself hit home runs. You can take a photo with Charles Schultz's lovable Linus and enjoy the festive tradition of 4th of July fireworks over Sleepy Eye Lake. Plan your getaway at exploreminnesota.com/escapes and share your favorites with #OnlyNMN. Yes, Fred Bruckbauer was a part of the very first Twins team here in 1961. He got into one game and he gave up 3 hits and a walk to the 4 batters he faced. Never retired a batter in 1961. Gave up 3 earned runs, and so his ERA as a Twin, infinity. Mookie Betts was at the plate when Garver backhanded a pitch from Lynn with the runner Bradley taking off for second. Holt started coming down the line and ended up getting caught in a rundown for the 3rd out. Betts, Benintendi, and Bogaerts here in the 3rd in a tie ball game.
It's like Betts has had 2 at-bats already. He's seen a lot of fastballs from Lance Lynn. We'll see if he makes an adjustment. Going to go in this time with a fastball.
And now 2-1.
I think that's another thing that separates Mookie Betts and why he is becoming such a great player is he knows the strike zone, and he doesn't expand very often anymore.
7 games since being on the disabled list, and the average is taking a bit of a beating. And a bouncer through the hole to left. A leadoff single for Betts here in the 3rd. Takes a big turn. Will hold up there. And that'll bring up Benintendi. Just the 2nd Boston hit. Again, they had 2 walks and an error to get the tying run in the 2nd.
Well, he's able to pull his hands in there. You saw where his hands were, which, even though we didn't see the pitch from the center field camera, would indicate that the ball was on the inner half of the plate.
Benintendi hit a ground ball to short his first time up, then shattered his bat in the process. Up and away, ball 1.
Another hitter that loves to hunt the fastball.
Betts 14 steals in 16 tries.
There you go.
Betts goes, and he didn't get off to a good start at all. And slow roller to the left side. And Betts stumbled a bit as he left first base, 1 away, and now Betts is at second base. You can see it might have been a hit and run attempt, and the shortstop Adrianza covered the bag, but Benintendi hit it to the 3rd baseman rather than where the shortstop was. Here is Bogaerts.
Well, it ended up being like a sacrifice bunt to get the leadoff man in scoring position, and they'll leave it up to Bogaerts and JD Martinez to try to get Betts in for the Red Sox.
Bogaerts doubled down the right field line his first time up, his 18th double of the year. Over the inside corner, strike 1.
Outfield hasn't moved much here in this half inning. Pretty much straight away. Lamar shifts one side or the other, so he has a view of the hitter. Can't stand directly behind the pitcher. Center field.
Outside 1-1. The pitchers who signed late and had a shortened spring training have all struggled this year. Lynn showing signs of fighting his way through those struggles. 1-1 to Bogaerts. 2-1. Greg Holland, the reliever, really got off to a terrible start with the Cardinals. Alex Cobb signed with the Orioles, and Cobb is continuing to struggle. He is 2-9 with an ERA of 7.14 for the Orioles. Lynn's ERA has been coming down seemingly with every start. And the run the Red Sox have here tonight is an unearned run. 2-1 to Bogaerts.
Pace of this game is really starting to slow down, and that's what made last night's game kind of a fun game to call and watch. Is it was a good pace, even though there was things that happened on both sides. It was moving along, and when you see a pitcher stepping off and trying to get a new sign, and really all he has is one pitch, he's throwing a fastball. There's not a lot of other things to do. They're just trying to find location, I guess.
Lynn's a little upset. I don't know if it's with his delivery of the pitch or how Garver received it. The pitch looked like it was pretty close to the outside corner. Let's see. Yeah. And the Twins did not get that strike called, and I think that's why Lynn is upset, because Garver kind of jabbed at the catch of the pitch. That was right at the knees. And we talk about framing pitches. That wasn't framed very well, and that's why Lynn, I think, was a little hot under the collar. 3-2.
It's really how he finished up. He caught the ball in the strike zone. You can't help but catch it in the strike zone, right? If it's a strike. But then his hand continued on downward, and it appeared to the umpire that maybe it was caught somewhere out of the zone.
So we talk about the importance of framing pitches, and maybe you can steal a strike for your pitcher. It's just as important, of course, to properly catch the strikes that are thrown. Backhanded, and Escobar fires across. Betts stuck at second base, 2 away. We'll bring up J.D. Martinez. And J.D. Martinez, of course, traded from the Tigers to the Diamondbacks and then signing with the Red Sox. And since September 1st of last year, an awful lot of damage.
He's really figured it out and gotten a lot of pitches to hit. I think that's the key. You wonder why good hitters are good hitters. Well, they don't swing at balls, and the strikes that they swing at, they do something with.
Martinez went down swinging his first time up. Little nubber up the line, and Garver will pick it up in foul ground, 1 strike. Lynn approaching the 60 pitch mark here.
Lynn threw 2 good sinking fastballs on the inner half of the plate to get a strikeout in JD's first at bat. Now ahead in the count here in at bat number 2.
One strike, and Martinez is now getting back to the batter's box. Handed by Garver, 1-1. Betts started the inning with a single. Low, and it's 2-1. '59th pitch coming up.
Well, it's just not a high pitch count. It's the pace of game. It's just taken Lance Lynn a long time to finish off a few of these hitters in this half inning. Three and one, first base open, Moreland on deck.
You know, point we were trying to make regarding Devers is still very true here. You've got veteran hitters up and down this Boston lineup, and they do have plate discipline, and they do force you to throw it over the plate. And Lynn's not doing a particularly good job of it. 60th pitch. He's only thrown 31 strikes. Swing and a miss. Full count to J.D. Martinez. And poked foul down the right field line.
I wonder if any analytics department have some kind of how long per at bat.
No,
I mean, there's got to be some.
not in terms of pitches, but
right
time.
Seconds
and minutes.
You know, if a guy has a 9-pitch at bat, but he's like JD and steps out and contemplates the chances of a breaking ball when he hasn't seen one yet, you know, he's going through a lot of things in his head. At least it appears to be, because this is pretty simple so far. It's fastballs.
Chopper to short. Adrianza with an easy play, and the inning ends, and Lynn pitches around the leadoff single. Still tied at 1.
Big bat of third baseman Jose Ramirez for Cleveland with 2 on in the first, off of Ronaldo Lopez. Deep to center field. His 22nd home run, up to 50 RBIs. Had a couple walks along the way in support of Corey Kluber, who, after getting beat by the Twins, bounced back stylishly. 7 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts. Now 11-3, guys, for the first place Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, that Indian rotation, even though the Twins beat Kluber and knocked out Carrasco early, the back end of the rotation, if you will, Trevor Bauer's pitching great. Should be an all-star this year. Mike Clevenger's been great. And so the Twins will have to catch Cleveland by playing better baseball. Here's Ryan Lamar leading off the third, and there's a pitch outside. 1-1.
Ryan Lamar had a nice game yesterday, scored a pair of runs. He singled and walked in 3 plate appearances, and I think he had a pretty good game plan against Chris Sale. Similar guy on the hill today, and David Price.
Big swing and a miss. How many all-star games did you pitch in?
5.
Okay. And it was, I think I know you well enough to know the answer to this, but was it a big honor to go and participate in an all-star game?
Absolutely. For me, it was.
David Price has been to 5 of them, pitched in 3 of them. And he's already said he doesn't want to pitch this year in the All-Star game if he is selected for the squad.
Then he shouldn't be selected.
And he apparently will be just fine with that. But I don't understand the mentality. I don't pretend to know David Price at all. 2-2 to Lamar, leading off the Twins' third. He was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome, and the theory was that he's playing a lot of video games, and he said if he was picked for the team he might have to play more video games and have a medical reason, more carpal tunnel, to be excused from the game.
Brilliant.
Inside now, 3-2. Grossman on deck.
Well, I had a teammate who declined a couple All-Star games, but I'll explain his thinking. He says, I am paid by my parent club, in this case it was Detroit Tigers, to perform for them, not to play in an exhibition game. And he says, I want to win a World Series.
Lifted to right field, and Betts is there for the catch. Lamar retired.
So he thought he'd be best suited to get some rest during those 3 off days so that he could have a impactful second half.
I'm a big fan of the game. I've taken my family to All-Star games just to watch it because my family and I appreciate seeing all the baseball talent on the field at one time. When I'm not there in person, I will watch the game on TV. The event that I think is in serious trouble is the home run derby.
Good.
Here's Grossman. He hit a legitimate home run into the bullpen in the first inning. There's a ball lifted to the same part of the field, just not nearly as far, about 60 feet short.
A little bit closer to the handle on that swing right there.
Cheer on the Twins as they take on the Rangers Friday, and the first 10,000 fans get a Nothing Falls But Raindrops Buxton bobblehead presented by Pentair. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets to learn more. 2 down, and now Eddie Rosario. More and more players, regardless of how the teams feel about it, but more and more players
are declining
to go.
Yeah.
Now the natural this year with the game in Washington D.C. would be Bryce Harper, and he said,
nope.
Unless he's changed his mind, he said I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no can do.
Inside to Rosario.
I'm going to give you my theory on the home run derby, and I think it's even more magnified today because of the analytics. We have all these analytics with uppercut swings and bat speed and all that, and yet we got cousins and uncles and old coaches throwing BP and they can't get the ball over. So I've always suggested let's put it on a tee. It is pure strength. It is pure bat speed. We will measure every player with taking all the distractions of a pitcher out of the equation. No comment. Okay.
No. Well, swing and a miss. Basically what it is now, it's coach pitch. It's someone trying to groove one right where you want it, whether it's down the middle, down and in, wherever. And that's kind of, I mean, it was cool when Robbie Cano won it and his dad was pitching to him. That was cool.
Yeah, but his dad probably threw a little bit over the years. Some of these guys bring in their old, Little League coach.
I think Brian Dozier had his brother.
Yeah. How many times has his brother thrown BP to Brian in the last decade?
2-2 to Rosario.
Didn't work out very well.
Significantly, I think Bryce hasn't struck anybody out yet.
Got one. Brian Dozier.
Brian Dozier got him looking. You're right. This ball down the line, and Rosario says it's my turn for an extra base hit. He's got 2, and he'll dig for 3. The ball just absolutely died in the corner, and he's got a stand-up 2-out triple.
As he rounds first base, he can see that Mookie Betts is having a little trouble with the ball, so he's not even going to slow down at all and force the throw. Watch it go down the right field line here. And Betts is going to have to work his way over there, and then it just dies. And Eddie Rosario rounds first. He peeks down the corner and sees that he's not getting to that ball, and he's already decided right there about 10 steps past first base that he's going to go for 3.
And now the doubles leader Escobar will bat with Rosario at third. Price has had to designate to an umpire in this situation whether he's pitching from the stretch or the windup, because his delivery is so compact from the windup. In this instance, he's had to tell an umpire whether he is pitching from the windup or the stretch.
Well, I swear he's been pitching from the stretch the entire game. He really doesn't have even that little step anymore.
But if he's pitching from the stretch, then he has to pause. Knocked down by Price, and he'll pick it up and flip to first to end the inning, and Rosario is left at third. The #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. One apiece as we head to the fourth inning. Lance Lynn will face Mitch Moreland. He issued a leadoff walk to Moreland in the second inning, ended up paying the price, giving up the Boston run, but it was an unearned run. Twins out hitting the Red Sox 4-2 so far. So in your career, I know there were work stoppages that caused abbreviated spring trainings along the way. But can you relate at all to what it must have been like for Lynn to try to get ready in 3 weeks rather than 6 weeks?
I can relate a lot, and I know it doesn't work because pitchers are victims of habit just like everybody else, and there's a certain amount of innings that Lance Lynn is going to know his body and know that I have to get through these amount of innings, and I'm really not concerned about the results as long as I'm getting my work in and stretching my arm out. And he never got to that in spring training this year, and then had to go kind of cold turkey in the big leagues.
Off-speed pitch and a looper to left, a base hit for Moreland. He's aboard leading off the fourth inning. So Lynn fed him a hanging changeup perhaps, and Moreland might have cost him a bat, but he dumped it into left center field for a single.
Well, he keeps his hands back. That was the key to this at bat. His body is gone a little bit, but you see how his hip were kind of going towards right, but he keeps his hands back and he throws the bat at the ball, hits it off the end, but it finds a hole.
Replay brought to you by Ram, and now Moreland at first, Rafael Devers at the plate. Very high with a fastball.
Devers grounded out 4-3 in his first at bat in yesterday's game. Everything else has been hit in the air.
Now 2-0. The presumption in baseball is that Manny Machado is going to be traded from the Orioles. there is a chance that Adrian Beltre might agree to waive his no-trade contract. He might hit the market. Mike Moustakas of Kansas City. There could be a glut of third basemen being traded between now and the end of July. And you wonder whether the Red Sox would have any interest, or whether they are committed to Devers as their long-term answer at third base, or whether they might be a player in the sweepstakes for any of those veterans. 3-0 to Devers.
I think a lot of it has to do how close they hang with New York. Right now, New York a game up.
And a 4-pitch walk now. The Red Sox have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the fourth, and Garver's going to come to the mound.
Well, again, Lance Lynn finds himself in a little bit of a jam. These are what I call high stress innings. You get a leadoff hit and then a walk, nobody out. And then I don't care if it's the bottom of the lineup or the top of the lineup. You've got to make pitches now. You've got to try to induce a double play, get a strikeout or an infield fly ball, keep the runner at second base.
And again, that was one of the things that Barrios did a really good job of last night. First and second, nobody out. We mentioned before that Lynn has gotten 7 ground ball double plays. Holt walked in the second. And down and in, ball 1.
I don't know what's going on with Lance Lynn, but he is definitely showing frustration tonight.
Chopper right side.
There's the double play ball.
Low throw, but the Twins still turn it. Dozier's backflip to Adrianza below the waist, but Adrianza did a nice job turning 2.
Yeah, great job by Are right there. See it again. It was a ball down in the zone. Brian had a little trouble getting the ball out. Throw was low, like Dick just mentioned. But Adrianza quickly gets rid of the ball and gets something on the throw. That's almost an obstruction right there, the way he went at him.
2 down, a runner at third, and now Vasquez. He had a pop up to Morrison his first time up. It's actually just kind of a little flare down the right field line, and Morrison covered a lot of ground to get there. Up, back and out of play, just beneath us. There isn't much that is beneath us. The youngster got out of the way. Vasquez didn't play in 2015. He had Tommy John surgery. Blew out his elbow making a throw. 1 strike. A ball.
It almost appeared to be a slider.
Three straight leadoff batters have reached for Boston. Right now Moreland's at third with 2 away. Came inside to get a swinging strike. Lynn follows through, and sometimes it seems like he's almost facing the second base bag rather than home plate.
It's all about leg strength, in my opinion. When a guy is spinning off like that, it's because he doesn't have strong enough legs, and he's kind of cheating. Subconsciously, he's trying to rush his hips and his upper body to generate the velocity he wants, and take strong legs to be able to have good mechanics.
Got him. And Lynn pitches around the leadoff single as he did in the third. It's still 1 apiece.
Jose Barrios, Trevor Hildenberger, and Taylor Rogers surprise volunteers at Feed My Starving Children at their Egan location. The players and volunteers packed rice meal packs for malnourished people in Haiti. Well done, guys. Look at Jose Barrios. Big smile on his face. He was dealing last night. He was dealing today, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. You ever done that? I've done that a couple times.
I've done it twice with my sons and his friends, and I think it's a wonderful thing for children to be a part of.
And adults.
I consider myself a big kid.
Yeah, I felt so good after I've left that their complexes in terms of packaging food, and if you really want to feel good about yourself, just donate a little time and/or money to Feed My Starving Children. One strike to Brian Dozier, then Logan Morrison and A. Ray Adrianza. Inside, a ball, 1-1. Cardinals got more bad news today. They had to put Michael Wacha on the DL with an oblique injury. Came out of the ball game today.
The dreaded oblique.
More and more players, key players, are getting injured. Dozier takes up and away 2-1. Miguel Cabrera done for the year. Shohei Ohtani, still no word yet as to whether he's going to need surgery or not. The Angels, and I think everybody in baseball hoping not. 2-1 Dozier. Half swing, and he went 2-2.
That was not a pretty swing right there. Don't want to beat a dead horse, but boy, does Doge been scuffling, and he just not even having good passes at the ball. It seems like when he's willing to try to go to the right side, they're pitching him in. When he tries to pull, they're pitching him away. He's just so caught up in between.
Now 3-2.
He's always been a streaky type hitter, and he gets a hit or two, and he could go off on just one heck of a rant.
It's down the line.
There we go.
And that's going to roll to the corner. Dozier rounds first. He's got at least two. The ball dying in the corner, and Dozier will hold up there with a lead-off double. And it sounded like it might have cost him a bat, but he'll gladly make the exchange. Price has busted a lot of bats here tonight.
Yeah, Price loves to pitch in. That's a fastball in, but traditionally that's where Brian Dozier has loved to hit. And maybe that'll get him going. He is able to inside out this one a little bit. Keep it fair. That's the key to that.
If you don't hit it on the barrel, it doesn't hook much, right? I think that got in on his trademark a little bit. Here is Morrison. Hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Morrison got jammed in his second inning at bat.
See if the Twins can do some damage here. They scored in the first, and it's been quiet 2 innings since.
Around the hands, ball 1. Morrison just 2 for 16 against Price with 5 strikeouts.
We've seen a lot of David Price. I know you have. I've seen a lot of his performances. And it's quite apparent he is not really dialed in yet with his command. He's been kind of feeling his way through it, but he's pitching.
Fastball for a strike.
We saw Jose Barrios do that last night, where you fall behind a few guys, give up a hit, but then you start figuring out a way to get an out, get a pair of outs.
Here Morrison, I think, would be content. Well, no, he wouldn't be content, but he would have some satisfaction, at least, by hitting the ball into the shift. 3 infielders to the right side, and if he hits it to any of the 3, Dozier will move up 90 feet. Taking low, 2-1. Bryce's strike to ball ratio not ideal either.
That's what I was just saying. It's apparent that he doesn't have great command tonight. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him. And David Price, typically a guy that works fairly fast, so pace of game for him is slowed down, and that's normal when a guy's kind of scuffling a little bit.
Swung through, strike 2. Gearing up for something at 93, and it was 7 miles per hour slow.
Yeah, the off-speed changeup right there.
Morrison looking for contact. Something that will get Dozier 90 feet closer. Time call. Two and 2 to Logan Morrison. Off the plate, full count. Adrianza on deck.
And now Vasquez takes a trip to the mound. Both pitchers with base runners really changed their pace of play. One run, or a tie game, 1 run apiece. Early in the ball game yet.
Dozier at second after his leadoff double. Now 3 and 2 to Morrison. Missed outside. He walked him. And Adrianza will bat with 2 men aboard. Watch the Twins on Fox Sports Go this Sunday when the Twins take on the Rangers at Target Field. Stop by the Fox Sports Go booth next to the Twins live set. That's out on the plaza in right field. Learn more about the Fox Sports Go app. And while supplies last, get a free prize. We're going to run out there on Sunday. They're giving stuff away. Visit foxsportsnorth.com/events for details. A free prize. What on earth could it be, do you suppose?
I don't know, but I know if I bring it home, my wife's going to go, "You brought some more stuff home that we don't need."
Well, you don't know that. It could be a basket of grapefruit. We don't know. Here's Adrianza.
I'd have to give that away. It gives me heartburn. Citrus.
1 strike. Corner infielders are up here, and Adrianza, instead of bunting, got at least 1 swing, and now he's looking at Gene Glenn to see whether the bunt is put on here. Left-handed batting Max Kepler is on deck.
Well, the pace is slowed down, but the Twins are given a golden opportunity to get back in the lead here.
Oops. Snap bat, and they get 1, and they get 2. The Twins did not put the bunt on, and instead Price gets a broken bat, another one. This one turned into a double play. Now Price again with 2 outs and a runner at third has to signal to an umpire. Doesn't make any difference which one, whether he's going to go from the stretch or the windup, and I haven't seen a signal yet.
Well, if he goes out of the stretch and pauses, there can't be an argument. It's not a windup.
But that was the problem with the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros game a week and a half ago. Keller, the relief pitcher, didn't designate.
Well, he didn't stop.
And then he didn't stop.
That was the reason. If he would have just stopped, he wouldn't have. There's nothing called.
But if you announce to the umpires you're going from the windup, then you don't need to stop. All right, maybe we can read some lips here. My windup, I think he told the third base umpire. I believe that's what he said. So that means from the windup, he does not need to stop. 1 strike to Kepler.
And quite honestly, the way David Price delivers a baseball, it's more indicative of a stretch than a windup. But why wouldn't you say windup? That way you're never going to get called a balk,
right,
because you don't have to worry about pausing.
Right. And that's what Keller, the reliever for the Rangers, did not do. Kepler pulls a foul. He lashed a line drive right to Bogaerts, right about where Bogaerts is standing right now in his 2nd inning at bat.
Yeah, he hit it hard, and it's got to be frustrating for Max Kepler, who's had a little of a tough go here as of late, but he also has hit some balls very hard during that stretch and just hasn't had anything show for it. It's like Brian Dozier just got a double. I mean, the weight of the world has to be off his shoulders because he's been pressing so hard lately.
1-2 to Kepler. And a drive to right field. This is high and deep and gone.
A no-doubter there. It looked like it might have been an off-speed pitch, and Max did not miss that one. He's hit the ball hard twice, and he's a happy guy. Twins congratulate him as he goes into their dugout. Now they have a 2-run lead. Let's see the pitch. Yep, it's a changeup that he leaves inside. You don't want to leave a changeup inside, kids. You got to throw that down and away, because a hitter can lead with his hips and really pull off a ball, but if his hands stay back, he can still drop the barrel.
3-1 Twins lead, and now Mitch Garver. Up and away, ball 1. Well, the Twins eventually do cash in on Dozier's leadoff double, with Kepler doing more damage against a left-handed pitcher, and a pretty good one in the case of David Price. Kepler's hit 5 of his 8 home runs against lefties. 2-0. We keep telling you what a problem area it was for Kepler last year, and you got to believe that, you know, his numbers against right-handers will rebound. Two and 0 to Garver. A little fly ball, short right field. Betts comes in to end it. A couple of extra base hits and a couple of runs for the Twins. They regain the lead, 3-1. In his last 5 starts has been really good. Look at that ERA, 2.01, and the 1 run the Red Sox have tonight is an unearned run.
He's battled through it tonight. Now he's worked himself into a lead. He's going to have to complete the 5th inning in order to qualify for the win. And he's sitting at 75 pitches right now. But the key to this whole game to me is this at bat. He just got a 2-run lead. He's been out on the mound quite a bit time-wise. Guys are standing around a lot. And he's got the number 9 hitter, Jackie Bradley, who reached on an error his first time up. So we'll see if he can attack now. He's got 2 runs to work with. Quit flirting around with all these high pitch count at bats.
Ball 1.
Slider.
3 straight leadoff batters have reached against Lynn, and that's been contributing to the slow pace and the fact that his pitch count is up. He issued a leadoff walk in the 2nd. Betts led off the 3rd with a single. Moreland led off the 4th with a single. 1-0 to Bradley. Fouled away, 1-1. And with now 77 pitches thrown, Lynn could use a nice tidy 8 or 9 pitch inning.
Yep. Boston's a good hitting team, and they're, as we've seen here already in these 2 games, they're very well disciplined at the plate. They don't swing out of the zone very often.
I found it interesting listening to an interview from Alex Cora earlier this year, and he was talking about how the game has changed in the last 10 years when you had teams like the Red Sox and the Yankees were exceptional at it, making the starter run up his pitch count so you could get into
the
bullpen. Now 3-1 to Bradley. And Cora said against some teams you want to do just the opposite, because some teams, their bullpens are so good, the last thing you want is to get into the bullpen. You stand a better chance taking your swings against the starter.
Well, there's sort of a catch-22 there, isn't there? If you score runs, the starter is going to be gone. But I think what he's really referring to, as Lance Lynn walks the leadoff man, he's referring to get to the long man.
Right.
You know, not the bullpen, not the last part of the bullpen, but the middle and long man.
Well, Lynn, with his 2nd leadoff walk, and this time he's walked the number 9 batter, Bradley, hitting 181. And look at Garver doing the catching for Lynn, and while they might not have seemed like they're on the same page, the numbers are dramatically better with Lynn throwing to Garver than anybody else the Twins have had catching. Now some of that's because Castro hasn't caught for a while, and Castro, when he caught Lynn, Lynn was going through a period when he was really struggling, so a little skewed there. But here's Betts.
Well, 4 walks through 4 innings. That's just too many. This is the big leagues. You can't do that. And pitch count in today's game, such an integral part of it. 80 pitches already.
Weakly hit.
You're not going to get a ground ball or a double play there.
Dozier quickly retires Betts, and Bradley moves to 2nd. And that'll bring up Benintendi. Benintendi with a couple of ground balls, both of them to the left side of the infield.
Twins have done a nice job in this series so far. I guess Benintendi's walked once, and that's it. He's not reached base yet.
Swing, but he went. In April, Lynn threw, and maybe that is the proper term. He might tell you it's the perfect term. He threw 23 2/3 innings and walked 23 men. It was a little bit better in May. The pitch at the knee, zone 2, but he's walked 8 men and now 12 men, counting the 4 today.
Yeah,
in 23 innings.
9 strikeouts over 6 2/3 innings in Detroit with only 1 walk. And today, 2 strikeouts and 4 walks.
0-2 to Benintendi. Just missed up and in. Couple of strikeouts for Lynn here. But again, we're talking about a Boston lineup that has a lot of veteran hitters in it, and the Detroit Tiger lineup does not. So you'd expect him to strike out more Tigers than the Red Sox. 1-2. Whoa! Harper with the catch, and it's 2-2.
And squirted off his fingers. I believe it was a slider. The way he went into his glove, it looked like he gripped a slider grip. It's hard to tell, but he's had some problems with his fingers. He's licked his fingers quite a bit, trying to get that tacky feel, get a better grip on the baseball.
And missed again with a breaking pitch, and it's 3-2. Bogart's on deck. Strike percentage of 51, 86 pitches and only 44 strikes.
Yeah, Taylor Rogers up and throwing now in the Twins pen. Pitch count climbing. He needs a couple outs here to qualify for the win.
3-2. Missed outside, second walk of the inning. First and second, one away, and Bogart's will bat. Friday, July 6th, it's University of North Dakota night at Target Field. A limited number of UND theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and green and black Twins cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/UND or call 800-33-TWINS. Bogarts with a double to right and a ground ball to third. And Rogers warming up in the event Moreland bats here this inning, one would think.
Well, Max Kepler just put the Twins ahead in the previous half inning, and now he's been standing around a while. 2 more walks from Lance Lynn.
There's a fastball on the outside corner. Bogarts has been around a while, and he's watched Lynn toil here this inning. The seeming inability to get anything other than a fastball over for a strike. That doesn't bode well for Lynn's chances of getting through this 5th inning. There's a breaking ball, and he gets a swing and a miss.
These are tough decisions for Paul Molitor. You know, you've got a veteran out there. You don't want to embarrass him. You want to give him every chance you can to maybe get through the 5th, qualify for the win. But you need outs. And he's been really struggling with command. We saw Odorizzi do that in his last couple starts. And it's just hard to try to navigate a game as a manager when your team scores a couple runs off a very good pitcher, and you know you're not going to get a lot more opportunities.
Trying to clip the outside corner, and Bogarts took a very close pitch. 1-2. Was it in the box? No, it was not. One and two. And Lynn with a little bunny hop on the side of the mound. He thought he hit the inside corner.
Well, let's see.
Well, that was inside. I believe in the box. Jack, do you believe in the box?
Well, the box is over the front part of the plate, and there's 5 corners on that plate, so it's deceptive. I've seen the ball go through that box. We were talking about last night's game, where a ball that sailed through had to cross through that box, but where it was caught off the plate, you know, it doesn't appear from the center field camera that it's a strike.
2-2. Lifted foul, out of play.
I think this is a better indication of what an umpire sees. And clearly the ball never caught any part of the plate there.
It was between the inside edge of the plate and the batter's box.
Right.
Clearly inside. 2-2. Lynn trying to fight his way through a jam of his own making. And if he can get a ground ball hit at somebody, he might do just that. And a lot of weak contact on both sides here tonight. There's a two-hopper, and they'll get one, and that's all they'll get. And the one they got was a close play at second base. The ball hit so weakly, Escobar had to feel kind of an awkward hop and then rifle his throw for out number 2. An important out to get where he got it, because the tying run is not in scoring position.
Watch how it's a little hard for him to get the grip on the ball. See that? It just took a fraction of a second. He makes a good strong throw to Dozier, but Bogaerts gets down the line fairly well, so he reaches on a fielder's choice.
First and third, 2 down, and J.D. Martinez, a strikeout and a ground ball to short. And this will almost certainly, I would think, be the last man Lance Lynn will face. Outside ball 1. 95th pitch coming up for Lance Lynn.
Well, if he wants to complete this inning and put himself in a position to maybe have the bullpen salvage 4 more innings and get him a win, he's got to get J.D. Martinez right here, because Taylor Rogers has been up and throwing for that left-hander Mitch Moreland, and pitch count is going to be the deciding factor. 95 pitches.
Tough spot here. 2-0 to a really good and powerful hitter. It's down the right field line and foul into the seats. 2-1. Tendy with 47 runs batted in. He's had a quiet series so far, and so far Martinez has as well. Tops and RBIs by teammates.
Yeah, they've been producing, but so far the Twins pitching staff has done a nice job of containing those 2 guys.
Two and 1. Weekly ground ball to Dozier. Inning over, and Lynn survives 5 despite a couple more walks here in the 5th. Pepsi fans of the game enjoying a very pleasant night here. The sun hasn't been shining at all today, but it's a very comfortable evening here at this beautiful ballpark.
Nice crowd again here tonight.
They told me they were expecting over 30,000 for the paid attendance tonight. Here is Ryan Lamar leading off the fifth against David Price, and there is ball one.
David's pitch count a lot better shape, 65 pitches as he enters the bottom half of the fifth inning.
1-0 to Lamar. Fly ball to right his first time up. And here's another one hit foul down the right side, 1-1.
You can see with Ryan's swing there, and I noticed it his first at bat, he's really not able to drive the ball to the right side because he's committed to that up the middle or pull type of swing, and he's not throwing his hands the way the baseball is being thrown. Now there he had a better chance, even though Price got underneath his barrel.
James Rowson, hoping that the lineup can click like it did in the last 2 months last year. 1-2. Lamar takes inside. Twins are 10-7 in the month of June. They've won 7 of their last 11 games at home.
I find it interesting watching the catcher Christian Vasquez. He is setting up off the plate quite often, and I don't quite understand why he would do that, because if Price hits his glove, it's going to be a ball.
Sharply hit and over the glove of Bogaerts. A whistling one hopper, and Bogaerts ended up olaying it, and Lamar will reach first base.
Give him a hit.
Hard to tell someone to get in front of something like that.
I'd do it.
You'd tell him.
I'd tell him.
Hey, what are you, nuts?
No, I'd say I had it hit right at you. What's the problem here?
A leadoff single for Lamar, and now Robbie Grossman, who hit a leadoff home run in the first and hit a fly ball to left in the third. And bunted in the air, foul, well back into the seats, 1 strike. You saw on that pitch, Lamar's a guy who can run, he can steal a base, but Price gave him no chance.
No, he's got a tremendous slide step, and it was a quick slide step too. The ball was already on its way home when Lamar was maybe 2 steps from his haunch position over there.
Big leg kick and a check swing, 1-1. Price picked off Rosario in the first inning.
A good shot of what Price is doing here on the split screen.
Back to the slide step and a lazy pop up center field. 1 down. And we'll bring up Rosario. Twin season ticket packages are now more convenient than ever. All traditional ticket plans include unlimited ticket exchange options, so you never have a ticket go unused. Season ticket holders are also automatically enrolled in the Sweet Spot Benefits and Rewards program. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets. A single in the first and a triple in the third. Rosario now is 5 for 8 in his career against David Price. Up and away, ball 1. fouled away. Eddie's father's here at the game today. At least he was at batting practice. I presume he's here for the game. And usually when his dad is here and his family is here, he has a big game. 3-home run game he had a few weeks ago was with his family in attendance from Puerto Rico. There he is. And already tonight, Rosario has a single and a triple. And another foul, 1-2.
He's having a pretty good night and really good month. Thinking back of a long time ago when I played baseball and how special it was to have parents there in a major league game. You know, they watched all the amateur games because they were my driver, right?
Diving back safely is Lamar, and Rosario chased one head high, 2 down. That'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. Escobar on a pace to shatter the Twins record for doubles, or Dairy Queen combination. It was that in 1994 Chuck Knobloch had 34 in the first 69 games, but then cooled off considerably. The record is 47, held by Justin Morneau. Escobar is 0 for 2 tonight. Up and in, ball 1.
He's been fun to watch.
The story you alluded to in the open, I had a chance to talk to Chris Sale today about his game last night and Escobar's success against him. And Sale volunteered this story that when the White Sox traded Escobar to the Twins, now Sale's been around long enough to see players come and go, 1-0, that it was the only time that Chris Sale had seen his teammates, his Chicago White Sox teammates, weeping in the clubhouse when they found out that Escobar had been traded. That's how popular Escobar was in a limited role with the White Sox, and you can imagine how popular he's been as his role has increased with the Twins. 2-1.
He's just got a good soul. He's a guy that is grateful every day, brings a smile and an energy, and he's done it obviously in multi-organizations now.
In any line of work, there are people like that, people who just make the day more enjoyable for those around them, and Escobar is that guy in the Twins clubhouse. 2-1. Lamar's at first, and Escobar swings through strike 2.
Having a little more trouble tonight laying off that high pitch. We saw him left-handed last night drill a ball to left center field on a high fastball, and typically that's been the one pitch that he's had a little trouble with. David Price went up in that last pitch up in the zone.
And chipped foul over the Twins dugout, still 2-2. Two and 2 to Escobar. It's down the right field line into the seats, and Twins, all they've got here is Lamar got a base hit. Next two guys are retired. Now a long battle here with Escobar, and Price's pitch count has at least climbed over 80.
I don't think Lance Lynn will see the 6th inning. Taylor Rogers has been throwing throughout this half of the inning, so he'll come out with a pen.
Bouncer to third, juggled, safe at second, and the inning will continue. Devers with an error, and that will get Dozier to the plate with 2 men on base. Lamar with his speed was able to get to second base well ahead of the late throw. So each team has made it out on the bases, and now each team has committed an infield error. We'll see if the Twins can take advantage of this one, as the Red Sox did earlier in the ballgame. Dozier double leading off the 4th.
Ryan did get a home run in the game against Corey Kluber in Cleveland, but it's been a while since he's driven in a run too.
Has hit 2 long balls against Price over the years. Side ball 1. The last time Price gave up more than 3 runs in a ball game, got to go all the way back to May 3rd in Texas. He gave up 7 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Strike. It's 1-1. Last night the Red Sox committed an error. Eduardo Nunez had a hard time holding on to a throw, and that ended up forcing Chris Sale to throw 10 more pitches that inning.
2 outs. Twins can maybe put some more pressure on Price. It'd be great to see him plate the runner Lamar at second.
Lifted foul into the seats, 1-2.
Pitches by inning for David Price. You can see here in the 5th is high so far. And the last pitch was because of the error that would have been the 3rd out of the inning.
One and 2. To center and hit well. Bradley going back, still going back, and he makes the catch on the warning track 400 feet from home plate. Twins strand 2, and we go to the 6th. 3-1 Minnesota.
sharing a photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Twins trying to make it 2 in a row. Brian Dozier hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark. Straight away center field, about 400 feet from home plate.
Yeah, it's a positive sign that at least he hit the ball hard.
Yep.
That could be a good sign.
Nevertheless, the Twins have a 3-1 lead, and now the last 4 innings of Twins hope will be efficiently pitched by the Twins bullpen, starting with Taylor Rogers.
5 innings for Lance Lynn, 97 pitches, 50 strikes, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Pretty much the reason that he's not taking the mound here in the 6th inning.
Moreland drew a leadoff walk from Lynn in the 2nd and scored an unearned run later that inning. Then he led off the 4th with a single and only made it as far as third base. Fastball and strike 1. Moreland about his average against lefties about 50 points lower than righties. And now 1-1. Devers and Holt will follow. Breaking ball. Rolling to the backstop, 2-1.
Back-to-back sliders there that Taylor Rogers can't keep in the zone. They've both been sweeping sliders that are out of the zone.
Fastball hits the outside corner. So he's throwing fastballs for strikes and off-speed stuff for balls. It's 2-2. And a breaking ball foul to the screen.
Got to get that one down a little bit more. Ball stayed up in the zone. You can see Moreland just bailing on that pitch. His hips are gone. He's pulling off, but he's able to keep his hands back and throw the barrel of the bat at the ball. And that's why the ball's down and away. Nothing he's going to do except hit a weak ground ball.
Another 2-2 to the leadoff man here in the 6th. Got him with a fastball. And Rogers, who has really struggled against lefties, gets a big hitter and a big out. And Mitch Moreland one away.
First out of the inning, that leading lady, and he comes back on a 2-2 count, throws the fastball up. And Moreland is just, his balance is all messed up. Pulled off of that one too.
Devers has fouled out and drawn a walk. Speed pitch misses.
Again, it looked like Mitch Garver kind of made that appear to be a ball the way he caught it and pulled his glove down away from home plate.
Fastball for a strike. Last year Rogers was really good against lefties. Held them to a 173 batting average. This year lefties are hitting him at a 293 clip. Just hasn't executed his pitches. Breaking ball lofted to right, and Kepler has an easy catch to make. 2 down. And that'll bring up Holt. Today's your day, Gina and Brian. Congratulations to you both on your new addition, the newest and cutest Twins fan. Oh, what a darling. Gina and Brian just won $100 in scratch tickets for being our feature in tonight's Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle. Game for a little excitement. Say I'm in. And look at that crocheted hat or knitted hat. And for Gina and Brian, legitimately, baby needs a new pair of shoes. Good luck with the scratch tickets. Here's Holt. Fastball over the inside corner. Twins are hopeful that Rogers will do kind of what Trevor Hildenberger did. Trevor kind of got off to a slow start this year, and lately he's been lights out.
Well, he's throwing pitches over for strikes and working ahead in the count for the most part here. 2 quick outs.
1-1.
I don't think he will get more than this inning. Looks like Ryan Presley's up and throwing now in the Twins pen, so he's probably going to be slotted for the 7th inning.
Just missed inside with a fastball. 2-1.
There's Ryan Presley.
Three and one.
Come back and get Brock Holt here. Throw it over.
Vasquez, the on-deck hitter.
Boy.
You mentioned the Matt Damon comparison. You were with me that day when we were at a Boston Booster Club thing with Brock Holt. That's why you. Okay. Full count to Holt. With Rogers trying to give the Twins their first 1-2-3 pitched inning. Right down the middle. And a good inning for Rogers. And he gets 2 left-handed batters in the 6th. The Twins still lead 3-1. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. 3-1 Twins in front. Couple of home runs for the Twins tonight. One by Max Kepler, one by Robbie Grossman. And now bottom of the 6th here. And Logan Morrison will lead things off with David Price still out on the mound. Good inning, really encouraging outing for Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, the first 1-2-3 inning by a Twins pitcher today, and two of the out strikeouts. So Rogers came back, got Holt. Those are the kind of things that are subtle little momentum changers. You have a quick inning, the guys are back in the dugout. Price, his pitch count climbed last half inning.
Now the Twins will try to take him over 100 in pitches thrown to make sure that the 6th inning will be the last they see of him. 1 strike to Morrison. Drew a walk his last time up. Came inside. Logan chased one inside. 0-2. And the Indians behind Corey Kluber and a dozen runs beat the White Sox 12-0. So the Twins need to win here tonight to stay 5.5 games back. The half game will be made up tomorrow when the Twins play and the Indians do not. Just off the plate, 1-2. Morrison maintains he's been seeing the ball better, which is usually a precursor for a hitter breaking out of a slump. But some tough assignments here when you're dealing with top shelf starting pitchers like Price and Kluber, Carrasco. Take it again, 2-2.
Yeah, Logan wasn't in last night's game in the starting lineup.
Joe Mauer gets today off. Expect both of them will be in the lineup tomorrow against Rick Porcello.
David Price being so deliberate today. He's got a little routine on the mound to get his shirt sleeves all tucked in the way he wants them.
And now 3-2. Adrianza on deck.
A little routine. He's got the front shoulder where he's kind of pulling it up, and then he goes to the back shoulder and sets that shirt sleeve, looks in.
Tapped to the right side. Easy play for Moreland, and Morrison's retired, 1 away. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. You can access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. One down, and now A-Ray Adrianza will bat. Adrianza with a single, and then in what might have been a bunting situation, Paul Molitor let him swing away, and he grounded into a double play in the 4th. Twins still got 2 runs when Kepler followed with a home run. Now there's a bunt attempt for a hit. Strike 1.
Ray thought he, pulled his bat out of the strike zone and that the ball was going to be called a ball, but to me that ball looked like it was right down the middle, and that's what Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, saw.
1 strike. Now 1-1. Can understand why Adrianza might want to bunt the ball up the third baseline. The error by Devers in the 5th inning, his 15th error of the season. So you'd want to approach a series with the Red Sox and say, hey, look, that is foul. Whoa. Not by much. You'd approach the series and say, hey, we wanted the third baseman to try to handle the ball as much as we can, and even he wasn't going to be able to handle this. Foul ball. Carlos Torres almost looks like a ballet dancer in slow motion there. That was very rhythmic. That looked choreographed almost.
Yeah, they practice that.
1-2 to Adrianza.
He sits in front of the mirror just after he gets dressed.
Well, hey,
airball,
everybody has a lot of downtime.
I just can't wait to see Joe West.
2 down. Here, base is empty, and Max Kepler will bat. And our cricket smile is thanks to Max Kepler's home run in the 4th.
Good to see the swing right there, and Max Kepler got the launch angle, all the wonderful things that create a home run. Bottom line is, he saw a changeup that was left over the inside part of the plate, and he put the hammer down.
In his 2nd inning at bat, he hit a line drive right to the shortstop Bogart, so he stung the ball twice, and he takes ball 1. Kepler, as we said before, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in against left-handers. His home run, his 20th hit against a lefty. He only had 19 all of last year. He hit 2 home runs against lefties and only drove in 12. So here we are. What do we call this? The middle of June, toward the end of June. It's June 20th.
We're approaching the end of June, yes.
And he's already surpassed his production against left-handed pitching in all of last year. 2-0 to Kepler. Solidly hit. Oh, what a catch by Holt. He made the catch in the air, and Kepler has hit 3 bullets against David Price here tonight.
He's hit it hard, and Holt goes down, and it finds his glove.
And they started early. First at bat of the game, Robbie Grossman went deep to the bullpen, put the Twins up 1-0. And Max Kepler in a tie ball game cranked one out to right with Brian Dozier aboard. And we have maintained that score now, 3-1, as we head to the 7th. And Addison Reed will come out. Reed's been kind of given a little bit of a, I think, mental break more than anything else, just to kind of get him back on track. He's had a series of really disappointing outings in a row. Reed did not pitch in Cleveland at all, and did not pitch last night. So he'll get the call here with Vasquez, Bradley, and Betts due up. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order.
He's a veteran. He's been through a lot of different situations, and I think Paul's doing the right thing here by putting him in a situation where the game's on the line again. And he's got a lot of fire in him. He's not happy with what he's done lately, and he wants to redeem himself.
Fastball off the plate. In his last outing in Detroit, he took the loss, 2/3 of an inning, and the 2 outs came quickly, but then 5 hits, and 3 of those came on 0-2 pitches. A relief pitcher's nightmare of an outing. And now pitch lifted foul into the seats, 1-1.
Any pitcher's nightmare, quite honestly. You get 2 strikes, and then you think you're going to make a pitch, and it ends up being a base hit. Several of those balls were hit hard too. You know, there's a couple bloopers in there, but
1-1 from Reed to Vasquez. And foul again. And we'll see the velocity 91 and 92, and the reason hitters typically are late on it, it's because of his delivery and the fact that he steps across his body, meaning he steps toward the on deck circle and then throws across his body.
And he stays pretty much straight up too. He doesn't have a lot of bend in his back, so it's an arm angle that a lot of hitters don't see.
2-2. He finished last year with the Red Sox. They picked him up. He pitched in 29 ball games for Boston and pitched pretty effectively. Opponent batting average of 168. Did give up 5 home runs in 27 innings. 2-2 to Vasquez. And another foul over the Twins dugout.
Well, he's got to win this battle first out of the inning. Here's his delivery. You can see he's on the first base side of the rubber, but he steps towards the opposing field bullpen or dugout, really. Kind of right where Jackie Bradley Jr.'s on the on-deck circle.
2-2. And now a full count. Reed has occasionally walked people, but hits have been the biggest issue. You don't want to walk anybody with a 2-run lead,
especially the leadoff hitter.
Full count. Bradley on deck. Bouncer backhanded by Adrianza. Plenty of time to fire. One away. And that'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr., who may have made the best throw I've ever seen in person an outfielder make.
Well, you see he goes back on this ball, but then he surrounds it, comes in on it. That was the first thing he did right, and I'll give him 50 more throws. He won't make that one again. That was a perfect strike.
If it was a foot either way, yeah. Grossman safe.
Yeah, and if you're Gene Glenn, you're going to challenge him on the same pitch or same throw every single time, but last night it was perfect.
One down, and Bradley will try to get a hit, and he pops it up to center. Right about from where Bradley made the catch and throw last night. Lamar catches out number 2.
So far so good for Addison Reed.
And he'll probably be the first to tell you, or at least think about, yeah, the first 2 are always easy. That's what got him in trouble in Detroit. After the second out, he couldn't get the third. And he'll try to get Betts here, who's 1 for 3 tonight. So far, Rogers and Reed have done a really nice job getting outs to the point where there's a decent chance, if this pattern continues, you won't have to face Mookie Betts in the start of the lineup again.
Trevor Hildenberger now throwing in the Twins pen. There is some activity in Boston's pen too.
1 strike to Betts, and now 3/4 swing. 7 outs to get to complete 9 innings. Two strikes and a pop-up. Morrison will chase it, but run out of room. Red Sox have been held to just 3 hits. Bogarts with a 2-out double in the first. Betts with a leadoff single in the third. Moreland with a leadoff single in the fourth. And foul away.
Tough guy to strike out. And Reed not really a strikeout pitcher, at least this year.
32 strikeouts and 214 at bats for Betts. That's to the backstop. 1-2. When signing Reed, the Red Sox felt they were well stocked with harder throwers to pitch out of their bullpen. 1-2. Drilled down the line. And Rosario will play the carom beautifully. Betts to second base. Here's the throw. Betts has to turn around and come back to first. Wonderfully played in left field by Eddie Rosario. And if Betts hadn't slammed on the brakes, he would have been out by 15 feet.
Yeah, Eddie plays this perfect. He charges towards the line, but he's seen it come off of the ricochet too many times. And here's the ball going down the line. It hits the little padding and right to Eddie Rosario. And see Betts running down the line. He's sinking too. He rounds first, looks up, and whoop!
In basketball, they call it an ankle breaker. Faking somebody into where they almost broke their ankles. Now the tying run to the plate. Here's a fly ball off the bat of Benintendi. Kepler's underneath it. And the inning ends. Good inning for Addison Reed. And the Twins still lead 3-1. First, Houston or Boston against Nathan Eovaldi. Sale Dooley went up on the railroad tracks, and then later again, that looks like a replay of the first one. That one over the tracks. 2 home runs, and the Astros have a 5-1 lead in the 9th inning. And the Astros, like the Twins, looking for win number 50. The Astros, like the Red Sox, I should say, looking for win number 50.
Did you see where the pitches were?
Well, I don't care. It's still a long way, isn't it, to hit the ball that far?
Yeah, but you can't hit a pitch that's at your toes. You're not going to hit it like that. You better hit those pitches out. Ball's right down Broadway.
Heath Hembry will pitch for the Red Sox. David Price with 6 innings pitched. 3 earned runs, a quality start. And Mitch Garver will be the first man he faces. Swing and a miss at 95. 0-1. Garver, Lamar, and Grossman as we begin the bottom of the 7th here. The Twins bench players tonight: Joe Mauer, Taylor Motter, and Bobby Wilson. That's hit to center, and jogging back about 8 steps is Bradley. 1 away. And we'll bring up Ryan Lamar.
David Price battled. Like you said, Dick, he'll get credited for a quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. But it was apparent to me that he wasn't as sharp as we've seen him, nor as sharp as he's been this year. And he still got through 6 innings.
He struck out 3 men and didn't have a 1-2-3 inning until his last inning of work.
That's not David Price. He usually has, what, he averages 9 strikeouts, so a little different.
1-0 to Ryan Lamar. Swing and a miss. We've seen Ryan do that a lot with that left hand coming off the bat. He did it, I think, twice last night against Chris Sale.
I don't know if it's slipping off or if he just doesn't really pull that bottom hand.
And at the knees. Twins as a team came into the game hitting .239. Lamar hitting .247.
Boston playing Lamar straight away, infield and outfield.
It's to the backstop. The American League is hitting .246. So Lamar's been right there with the league average in terms of batting average. Still looking for his first big league home run. Oh my. Lamar checked, and that pitch looked like it was 8 inches outside. 2 down.
Now take another look at it. You'll see Vasquez sitting outside, and it clearly stayed outside.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. 2 away, and that'll bring up Grossman. And now Grossman, who has, as a right-handed batter, hit a home run to the bullpen to start the ball game for the Twins, and a couple of outfield flies have followed. Strike 1. It'll be chased by Devers, but there's no play. 0-2.
Pretty much continuing what David Price, but he's featuring a lot of fastballs from the right side, of course. But coming after the Twins hitters, 2 quick outs. And 0-2 now on Robbie Grossman.
High fly right field. Betts hardly has to move. And the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the 7th.
The Twins wrap up their series with the Red Sox. Tomorrow, join us at 11:30 a.m. Our coverage begins. It's the Red Sox and the Twins at 11:30 right here on Fox Sports North.
When you were a starting pitcher, you never had to start a game, a day game after a night game if you started the night before, but you'll be ready to answer the bell tomorrow, won't you, at noon?
I absolutely will.
All right, good. Well, Trevor Hildenberger, who had an effective outing last night, will come in to try to get 3 outs here in the 8th. He'll face Bogarts and Martinez, whom he retired last night. Walked the first man he faced, then got the next 2, and his numbers keep going down. The numbers you want to go down.
Yeah, and I don't know who has the advantage here. I always find it interesting that a reliever will come in 2-3 days in a row and have to face the same guy. And that's just the nature of the business, I guess.
Last night, with Hildenberger misfiring inside, Hildenberger came in to face Benintendi, walked him, and then got Bogarts to ground out to third, and then in a great battle, he struck out J.D. Martinez. I asked Paul Molitor today the name I've invoked as a comp to Trevor Hildenberger is Doug Jones, and Paul played with Doug with the Brewers and played against him when Doug was with the Indians. He says he thinks Trevor's arm angle is even a little lower than Doug Jones was. And Doug Jones had a fastball and a changeup, but Trevor, of course, one of his best pitches is the breaking ball. So the comp isn't exact, but Doug Jones lasted a long time and was a really good late inning reliever, and I think we're seeing Trevor gravitate toward the end of the game.
Take a look at Trevor's delivery. Again, he stands on the first base side of the rubber. Not sure why, but a little bit of a crossfire himself.
1-2 to Bogarts.
He does end up in a pretty good fielding position, though.
And because the ball can do so many different things, it can break, right to left. It can just sink. His changeup just kind of dies. And then he's got the fastball, too, that has some giddy up to it. We've seen him throw as high as 94. An uncomfortable at bat. Isn't that what they mean when they talk about somebody giving you an uncomfortable at bat? Not sure what the ball's going to do or where it's going to end up.
And there's one over the top.
Yep, he went over the top and got a 2-hopper to Dozier. Bogarts retired 1 away. Tomorrow on Fox, Messi's quest for World Cup glory continues as Argentina looks for a crucial win against Croatia. All the action kicks off at noon. We're streaming live on the Fox Sports app. Talking with Max Kepler a little bit about Germany's loss the other day, and they're still alive.
I watched a little soccer, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw Russia and Egypt, and Egypt put a goal into their own net, the first goal of the game, and I said, well, that's enough soccer. Literally, the defender was trying to kick it to one of his buddies, and it went into their own net.
Okay.
This is World Cup soccer, right?
Okay. Yeah, the best in the
world.
world.
The best. No, it happened, I guess.
Anyway. I'm stuck, and I'm a product of my times. Okay, now I'm stuck with the song "Walk Like an Egyptian," stuck in my head.
Well, you'd have loved it because there was a lot of guys wearing the headdress of some of the Kings.
2-0, and now a strike on the outside corner to J.D. Martinez. And Hildenberger with 2 men on struck out Martinez. Brian Johnson warming up, as is Zach Duke in the Twins pen. To right center field, and Kepler with a sliding catch in the gap. No catch. No catch. And Kepler has to come up firing here. Pausing at first was Martinez, And Paul Molitor is saying, we're going to take a look at that. I think Max was pretty confident he made the catch.
And so is Ryan Lamar, his teammate out there. The second base umpire told him, calm down, we'll take a look at it. And immediately Paul wants to take a look at it. It's probably going to be overruled.
That's a heck of a catch by Kapler. Hit the thumb of the glove and stayed in the web.
Yeah, that's a catch.
If that's not overturned, I'm leaving the booth. You can take the rest of the telecast, all right?
Well, I already wrote it. Out 9.
Second base umpire, Scott Barry. And the out is recorded. Now, if I were an umpire and I wasn't sure, I'd call it safe, too, because you can always challenge it, and the out's recorded as it should be, that's fine. If you make the out call, and then it's ruled safe, then where do you place the runners and all of that? You know, I mean, it's...
Well, it goes to second base because, you know, there was no call, and then Max was, you know, he was ready to toss it into Doge for the second out, and he's got to throw it in hard because J.D. Martinez kept running.
2 down, and Moreland at the plate.
But you're right, it's probably the right thing to do if you're unsure.
If I was unsure, that would be my fail-safe call. That would be call it safe, and then if it was caught, then it'll be overturned. 1-0 to Moreland. Pulled foul. Rogers had a 1-2-3 sixth. Reed had a 1-2-4 seventh. Hildenberger trying to tidy up the top of the 8th. Way out in front. It's 1-2. Hildenberger last year and again so far this year much more effective against lefties than righties because of that devastating changeup. Floats outside and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of hitters realize how hard Trevor can throw. You know, mid-90s is his best bolt, and that's a huge difference when your changeup is in the high 70s and low 80s.
Well, there was 80, I think, was the changeup right before that, and now that's a fastball at 93. Take a look at StatCast's numbers on the Kepler catch. Catch probability just 4%. And Max made the catch. And another foul on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
It goes back up on top. I'd love to see him throw a breaking ball from up there once in a while.
He says he's trying to do that. He's working on that.
He doesn't have to throw it for a strike when he's ahead and counts.
Bases
go
empty.
ahead. Go ahead. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Give him something else to think about.
Change up, got him. A really good inning again by Trevor Hildenberger, and he got a little bit of help from Max Kepler.
Yeah. Getting by with a little help from my friends.
On Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Our post-game show will feature the Twins going long distance for all 3 of their runs with some nice home run activity. How about the bullpen? Lance Lynn worked his way through 5, but the bullpen 3 goose eggs since. And we'll hear from the manager, Paul Molitor. Guys, and Twins, after winning a series in Cleveland, if they can hang on here, Molitor should be in a good mood, locking up a series win against one of the best in the league in Boston.
Yeah, and how about the night for Max Kepler? Big 2-run home run. He's hit the ball hard 3 times. A great catch here in the 8th inning.
Should have 3 hits. He's got 1.
Brian Johnson will pitch to Rosario, Escobar, and Dozier. Rosario with a single and a triple against David Price, 2 for 3. And he takes inside, ball 1. And now 2-0.
That one right over the top from Brian Johnson. Different look.
Now with the count 2-0, Red Sox swing Holt way over into short right field. And now he comes in as Johnson delivers the pitch. 3-0, Escobar on deck.
No harm in adding on, right?
Oh, against this Boston lineup. Escobar will hit next, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Rosario to start the 8th inning. So Rosario's been on 3 times. Subway box score for the Twins. It's not like they've been knocking the cover off the ball, but they do have the only 2 home runs on the ball game to account for their 3 runs. Have hit for the cycle tonight. Rosario with a triple, Dozier with a double.
Well, this guy, just an odd night here in the last month that he hasn't been on base. Maybe he can get that done here at this at bat.
Reached on Devers' error in the 5th, and there's a strike. Yankees beat the Mariners 7-5. Rodney getting loose for the 9th. Fouled back into the press box. Dustin Morse and Mitch Hested, the top 2 guys in the Twins media relations department, and nobody touched it. I mean, they didn't.
Lack of talent.
Forget leather, they didn't get skin on it.
Lack of talent, I guess. Our buddies. Why do we make such a big deal out of a ball hit back into the press box or our broadcast booth or the radio booth? It happens quite frequently.
Make the effort, you know. You got to make contact.
Now, when you were an outstanding athlete at Dumont High, did you?
Staples High School, but yes.
Staples High School. Well,
and I wasn't an outstanding. You got both the description and the location wrong.
Were you dreaming of someday getting a foul tip in the booth? I mean,
I didn't even dream of being in the booth.
Have you caught one in the booth?
Yes, several times.
You have.
I say Bert Blyleven.
Have you made any errors? Have you been accused of not making an effort?
I don't believe so.
Or ducking or getting out of the way? None of that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I make the effort. 1 and 2.
Oh, we're just going to waste a half hour talking about balls in the booth again.
Swing and a miss.
Foul tip.
And no? Escobar walks back. He's a strikeout victim. 1 down, and that'll bring up Dozier.
Breaking ball in the dirt, and this one actually hits home plate. Hard to hit that one. Esky goes down for the 3rd time here tonight.
Hey, I appreciate the compliment and the description of my athletic career in high school, but I can't help but wonder my high school baseball coach Jerry Reaver and my high school basketball coach Tom Wohlhau are both now probably popping nitroglycerin pills because they saw me play.
Are they still alive?
Yes, they are.
Hi, guys.
1 strike to Dozier. Dozier with a double and a run scored in the 4th. And now inside. You know, you can talk about Bryant's slow start and all that. Where it's really noticeable is against left-handed pitching. He pounded left-handed pitching last year. He's coming into the game today hitting just 179 against lefties. And last year he hit 331. I mean, he's literally hitting about half of what he hit last year in terms of batting average against left-handed pitching.
If we cut the plate in half, I would say the majority of pitches, especially the 2-strike pitches that Brian's getting, are in the outer half. And that's because the league knows how quick he was inside and he really liked the ball on the inner half. But what's happened is he hasn't really made offers on the outside part of the plate, so that ball on the inside he's lost with right now. And he's had a couple really nice at bats this game, a hit off of Price and then a fly ball all the way to the deepest part of the ballpark in right center.
So a better and more solid contact against left-handers tonight, and something to build on, one would hope.
You know, I guess what I'm trying to say is hitters go through slumps. That's part of being human. But to get out of the slump, you go back to the pitches you can handle, and you start handling them again. And what Brian did off Price was handle that ball up and in. You know, that's the one that he sends into the seats. He did it 42 times 2 years ago.
Three and 1. See if Dozier gets something good to hit here. Took it for a strike. A speed pitch, and it's a full count. Rosario, the runner at first, was picked off of first by Price back in the 1st inning. And there's the throw over. It was on a 3-2 pitch. I believe the count was 3-2 when Dozier was at the plate, when Rosario was picked off back in the 1st inning. Full count. And Rosario goes in the pitch, hammered to left. Going back is Benintendi. That ball is off the wall. He plays it well. Rosario's being waved around. Here's the throw to the plate, and Rosario slides under the tag. Another double for Dozier. Another run for the Twins.
Absolutely great base running by Eddie Rosario right there. Did not hesitate. He could tell that that ball was going to be over Benintendi's head in left field, and he's on the horse right from the get-go. Brian Dozier, that's the pitch we're talking about. That's the one he handles, and he was able to do that. Benintendi did everything he could. He made the perfect throw to the cutoff man, but Rosario, great heads-up base running because of the jump he got right when the ball made contact.
And you saw in that last replay the umpire rotation. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson had to cover third base, and the first base umpire Tom Woodring had to slide down to make the safe call at home. Here is Morrison. Big insurance run for the Twins. It's 4-1, and Morrison takes ball 1. Well, the Twins saw the Red Sox cash in on a leadoff walk back in the 2nd inning. And now Rosario takes a leadoff walk in the 8th, and that leads to a run. Fastball on the outside corner. 4 of their 6 runs last night against the Boston bullpen. And over the top delivery for strike 2. So some positives, and I think I mentioned early in the ball game the Twins need to get a couple of bats going, and I think we described Dozier and Kepler as being those bats that the Twins need to get going. And Dozier's got a couple of doubles. Kepler's been stinging the ball all night long, and maybe eventually Morrison will join the party.
It's been a good effort here tonight for the Twins offensively. They haven't had any long spells.
How about the steal of third by Dozier? With the pitcher Johnson holding the ball, he wasn't even aware that Dozier took off for third until he had already gotten there.
That's the old walking lead, and now he's just going to go.
That's catching not just the pitcher but everybody napping. And now the infield is brought in. It's 2-2 to Morrison.
Amazing what a couple of hits can do for a guy.
Two and 2. And Dozier checked at third by Vasquez, the catcher. It's 3-2. I don't know if the Twins have had a player do what Dozier just did since Chad Allen did it a whole bunch of times in the late 90s. Ryan Presley warming up in the event this is not a save situation, and if Dozier scores from third, it won't be. Oh, Morrison did a nice job fighting that off.
Yeah, change up there that he kept his hands back. Little moral victory would be for Logan Morrison to pick up this RBI and get a base hit.
Three and 2. And another one. Pretty much the same pitch and the same defensive swing, but he made contact. With a fastball fights it up.
Quite a battle right here. Hanging in there.
3 2-strike fouls from Morrison in the last 3 pitches. Drew a walk in the 4th. A fly ball to right in the 2nd. Grounded to first in the 6th. Logan can get the payoff here.
Yep.
Because he has said he's feeling better at the plate. He's seeing the ball better, but you still look up and
you need results.
Yep.
Just to have the confidence build and get back into a groove.
Tap to first. Dozier can't come home. Morrison shuffles, or Moreland rather, shuffles to first. Morrison retired 2 down. Target Field's become a top choice for families in Twins territory, celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, bachelorette parties, family celebrations of all kinds. You can schedule your special event in a fully catered Target Field hospitality space, available for groups of 16 to 250. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS. Here's Adrianza. Twins trying to add one more here with a 2-out hit. That's foul. That's the second one that Carlos Torres has called, I think in each case correctly.
He's Standing right over the bag. Gene Glenn giving him a little raspberry. Yeah.
If it's behind the umpire, it's got to be foul, right?
Pretty good chance.
1 strike. For a lot of reasons, it'd be nice for the Twins to get another run. It might give Ryan Presley a chance to finish a ball game, which I think the Twins would like to see. Presley's warming up. Rodney's warmed up. Called strike 1 and 2.
Rodney finished the game last night, and he did it in quite a nice fashion, striking out 3 guys after 1 hit in the inning. But he's been good lately, and
foul. Still 1 and 2. 30th pitch for Johnson. He's already given up 1 run.
been a long half inning, productive inning for the Twins. Leadoff walk followed by a Brian Dozier double, and the Twins get 1 more on the board.
And Adrianza swings through, strike 3. It'll be the same situation for Fernando Rodney when we come back.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Now the Twins with a 4-1 lead. Last night Rodney finished the game. It was not a save situation. Now he's in one. He's been really good. And he'll try to pin down a save against the Red Sox and clinch an early series win for the Twins. Twins 3 outs away from winning 4 out of 5 against 2 really good teams a year ago. Cleveland's got some warts, we all know that, but they seem to be figuring some things out. The Twins won the series in Cleveland. First batter is Devers, and the first pitch down and away, ball 1.
In last night's game, Rodney got 3 strikeouts in the top of the order, and now tonight he's going to have to face the bottom of the order.
Devers, Holt, Vasquez scheduled. Leon, Nunez, and Swihart are the bench players. Fly ball center field. Couldn't it be hit more lazily than it is? One down. Verizon projected starters for tomorrow's game. The Twins will face a right-hander, but a really good one. Rick Porcello will go for the Boston Red Sox.
He's a former Cy Young Award winner. You can see his record, 8-3 and 15 starts. Kyle Gibson's pitched very well. Only 2 wins to show for it. He could easily have as many wins as Porcello.
Over to the inside corner to Holt. Holt is 0 for 2 with a walk. Out in front of the changeup. What's truly amazing about Rodney, he's 41 years of age, and there's been no diminishment of his stuff. We've seen 96, I think we've seen 97, so the fastball is still there, and the changeup is just as paralyzing as it was 10 years ago.
Well, we got another guy in the league that we're going to see Sunday, Bartolo Colon. He's about 63.
Yeah, but his stuff is diminished. He's just learned to pitch with diminished stuff.
Great changeup.
Yeah. 2-2. Rodney, the top Dominican winning pitcher now in Major League Baseball after a win in his last start. And now 3-2 to Holt.
He's stayed in great shape his entire career. He's done a lot of things right.
Are you talking about this guy or Colon?
I'm talking about our guy now, Fernando Rodney. And you know what? Even though he's got a body that you can maybe poke a little fun at, Bartolo Colon has stayed in pretty good shape too.
And Rodney's going to hustle to the bag, taking the flip from Morrison. 41 years of age. The fundamentals still executed 2 away.
This is the last at bat. You can see the different pitches that he's thrown. Rock Holt, and he finally gets one to turn over on the little bit of sinker outside.
Everybody giving Rodney a little bit of a break. They do that for pitchers who are 21 years of age. Here is Vasquez. Red Sox came into this series splitting a 4-gamer in Seattle and sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. Alex Cora told me in spring training when he was here early in the season with the Astros last year, he was very unimpressed with the Twins, and then of course saw a much better team when the Twins went to Houston last year. This year it looks like the Twins are about to make a better first impression than they did last year when he was the bench coach for the Astros. 1-1 to Vasquez.
Well, don't they see a lot of each other in spring training?
Right. Yeah.
They're in the same city down in Fort Myers.
First hop gathered in by Escobar. A 1-2-3 ninth. And the Twins have back-to-back impressive wins against the Boston Red Sox.
Just a well-played game tonight. It took a little while. The pace of play was not the greatest, but we saw Brian Dozier get back in the swing of things. Max Kepler had a very good night, both offensively and defensively.